changes the entire risk profile of the deal. The agent reaches this moment. It has two choices. Choice A, it writes the fraud carve-out as a separate typed object, a blocker, its own source link pointing to page 89, paragraph 3, its own confidence score, a contradiction edge connecting it to the indemnification cap on page 84. 5 tokens that create a durable, inspectable, reviewable exception in the matter record. Choice B, it produces a clean summary paragraph. Smooth, professional, cites the right sections. But it's not a separate object. It has no source link. It has no contradiction edge. It has no blocker status. One more handoff, and it vanishes entirely. The trajectory completes. A lawyer reviews the output. Choice A passes review. Choice B fails. Reward for choice A, 1. Reward for choice B, 0. The 3 passing trajectories get positive advantage uniformly across all 100,000 tokens. The 5 tokens that created the typed exception object get the same credit as the 95,000 tokens of routine extraction. The model receives a faint signal, diluted across the entire sequence, that something in those 100,000 tokens was better in the passing run. It certainly doesn't learn that those 5 specific tokens, the ones that preserved the fraud carve-out as a separate typed object, were the entire reason the trajectory passed. What does the model learn from this? It learns to produce output that looks generally similar to the passing trajectories. It gets marginally better at everything. It becomes slightly smoother, slightly more fluent, slightly more professional sounding. Over many training steps, it converges toward confident, well-structured prose. It does not learn that the exception is the job. Token 94, 999, just before the agent reaches the fraud carve-out on page 89, the critic estimates the expected value of the trajectory at 0. 6. The agent has been doing competent extraction. The indemnification clause is captured. Standard work so far. At token 95, 000, the agent encounters the fraud carve-out. It decides to write it as a separate typed object. The critic sees the new context. A blocker has been created. A contradiction edge exists. The exception is durable and inspectable. The critic's estimate jumps to 0, 85. The advantage for those 5 tokens is plus 0, 25. For the 95,000 tokens of routine extraction, the critic estimated 0, 3 at the start, and its estimates climbed gradually and smoothly to 0, 6 over the course of the extraction. Each routine token contributed an advantage of roughly 0, 0.00003. Not 0, the work matters, but tiny, proportional to how much each routine extraction actually changed the expected outcome. The model learns that those 5 tokens, creating the typed exception object, contributed roughly 8,000 times more value per token than the routine extraction. It doesn't learn to produce smoother prose. It learns that preserving the fraud carve-out as a separate, typed, source-linked, blocker-capable object has dramatically higher expected value than compressing it into a subordinate clause.